Baoli, good morning. Excellent. Great to meet you. Thank you for your time. I have a few questions for you, but let's start off immediately by just asking, tell me a little about VUnite and about the company and about what it does. Just tell me a little bit about that.
Oh, brilliant. Good morning, Roger. Good morning, everyone. My name is Baoli. I'm the founder of the VUnite. VUnite is a digital art technology company. The company providing, we call them digital art canvas or digital art frame. It's a piece of hardware that's really different from traditional monitors or TV screens. It has no reflections. So if you put oil paint work on that, you will see the real it's just phenomenal. You have to see it and you understand how good it is. So apart from this hardware, we also collaborated with world well-known galleries such as the National Gallery Scotland, Art Institute of Chicago. They providing the big amount of work for our platform, and also the artists contribute their work as well. Currently, we're working with 200 contemporary artists. They have the artworks in our platform. So our customers, after purchase digital art canvas, they can consume these artworks. So you can have new artwork every day. So that's kind of the concept. This is only for the consumer, but we also last month we launched for the business users as well. So for the business users, why we're doing that is probably I give you a little background in here about myself. I have been working on the digital advertising displays for 17 years. We were the first company manufacture digital advertising displays for digital signage for advertising in the retail shops. You saw them everywhere. So that market is really, really growing, phenomenally growing. And then what happened, we realized that now too many digital advertising displays in the shops, everywhere. So the people just ignore that. So for advertising, yeah, you can understand the most important part is novelty. So the people cared about this commercial content. So I was thinking about that. If we display the content of the art, so the people, everybody appreciate the art, love the art. Just imagine that if you are inside Costa Coffee, there's beautiful art showing on the screen, and suddenly, if the Costa Coffee showing one commercial, you will get, that's that's the idea behind that.
Oh,
So yeah,
I
so
love.
now we also go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was going to say the idea and art and all the creative aspects, but I love the idea that to blend it with kind of innovative technology that then creates something that nobody's really had before, which is this flexibility of seeing lots more art. I think it's just brilliant. So I haven't seen one of yours. I can't wait to see the device and see how it works. I'm definitely going to make sure that happens. So no, excellent, excellent. So just how did you get to do this? So what just a kind of quick 60-second, 90-second kind of background in terms of how you ended up as CEO of this business. How did that happen then, Baoli?
Okay, very good. As I earlier mentioned, I was founder of the OC Technologies, that is digital advertising display manufacturer for 17 years. Company goes fantastically well. And then I have a friend, she is artist. We're really good friend. She talking with me said, Baoli, you has a relatively success on your business. Just think about how can you help the artist? She told me that most artists, it's really, really poor. How poor it is. She used to give me a data. She said the average wages in UK, which is around 11 pounds per hour. She said the average income of the artist is less than 3 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, it was I heard that I was feel so sorry to painful to hear that. And then that was stuck in my mind. I said, okay, what I can do to help her. So obviously I'm doing the display. So I think about if I develop a product able to display the artwork in a digital way that will work. This is almost similar with Spotify on the music industry. If you think about it, before that we're buying the CDs and it's expensive. And now you can just open Spotify and listen any music you want to. So I just want to develop a similar platform. So if we have a digital art canvas and showing the artwork, so the customer can benefit from appreciate the art easily, and the artists get everyone get benefit. The artists get well paid. So that's the idea behind.
Sure, sure. No, I love the idea as art as well-being, absolutely. No, excellent. So, but this is there's a whole set of kind of innovation in this. So, just talk to us about um, that process, because I'm guessing there are times when you want to achieve things, but you know this is hard. You've got to do the development work. You've got to invest, knowing that this will work and will return. But in the meantime, there's an investment phase before you get that return, I'm guessing. And how did you cope with that? What are the clues and the ways to manage a situation where you can see a vision of where you want to get to, and you've got to invest first before you get the return? Does that resonate with you?
Absolutely, absolutely. I would say I was a lucky one because I had another company, OC Technology, which gave me a great foundation, a lot of talent work on there, allow me to develop this piece of hardware very cost effectively. I don't
Right.
know if that makes sense. If for any new startup to develop such product require quite a lot of money, but for me, I can use that resources to do this work.
Sure.
So I was quite lucky, first one on the hardware side, and then obviously there because I was in the business world for a reasonably a long period of time, has good connection with these angel investors. So they at a very early stage they put money in to
Right.
help me to continue develop the product. So basically, I want to say is a good talents behind me and some investor behind me allow me to do this work. But this is just like a foundation, and then you have to carry out work. So
Sure.
you want to innovate, and you have to collaborate with multiple. I would call them ecosystem
Right.
partners. So let them to help us to do the work. So earlier, probably I mentioned the one you mentioned is KTP project. We collaborate with the Nottingham Art School.
Right.
So to sponsored by Innovate UK.
Sure.
So we can use the brilliant research talent from university to help us to conduct some research work in here. And we use that. Actually, that's a very interesting project. What we did research is, we said we deliver art to the people, but
Mhm.
how this art can affect you. So we did one research, we found, we call it biophilic art. The meaning of biophilic in here is more like trees, the waters. So
Okay.
if you're showing the artwork of this beautiful nature
Sure.
thing, it will help people who has dementia, who has mental health problem. So we found that, and then that was almost 2 years research. So what we do is, yeah, on that, so we can create our platform, can create a playlist
Right.
of the artwork, which we call biophilic artwork for customers who want to have kind of like mental therapy on
Sure.
that. So this is great. People love that. Yeah.
I'm sure there are so many facets to this. It's just amazing. I am personally really, and really taken with this whole idea. I have to say, but fantastic. One question about, because we clearly do need investors. You're very passionate and proud of your innovation, what you can achieve, but sometimes there's that process of trying to get that message across to them so that they then will kind of invest. And I know it's about risk and those kind of things, but I just wondered if you'd any experiences or thoughts or ideas about how you do that. How do you best, when you're getting an investor who probably knows nothing too much about it, but you really want them to, how do you get that message across clearly and succinctly to get them excited? Are there any clues about that, Baoli, in terms
Uh,
of that?
okay, myself, the early investor, we call them angel investors in here. They all good friends of mine.
Right.
So I would say the first one, they believe it's in myself rather than
Right.
in the project. That's first one. It's because I had a relative success business before already. They all friends of mine. They said, if you want to start another venture, just give me a call. We will invest. So that's more or less like believe me myself.
Right.
That's the first thing. And then some investors in here, they are also believe my passion. It's not about really about the product itself, it's about my passion. They
Mhm.
can really see that I love that. I want to change the art industry. I want to do innovation. This body, whatever. If you have that passion, you will have a success. So they invest in rather than listing the project itself.
Right.
Yeah, I would say a little bit different probably from other founders.
Sure. No, and I love that because both those things, the kind of trust in you and then also the passion you're showing is really interesting because that's, you know, that's not about a spreadsheet and about investments and returns and percentages and those kind of things. It's more about the human part and the relationship part. And I think that's a really important part of anybody who's going to be successful, because I am sure you've been through some dips along the way and then some successes. It's a bit of a roller coaster, but if you've got that resilience and they trust in you and you've got that passion, then that's why that works. Excellent. So what might be the big learnings that you've had then through your career, Baoli, that you could share with people in terms of what comes to mind when I say what's the big thing that you've learned through all this process that's made it a success? Any major learnings?
One of the major learning is you have to be resilient, the word you called in earlier, to make success. It really sometimes takes a long time. It's like my first business, OC Technologies, that as mentioned earlier, I started 17 years ago. The first 5 years, the time of business, is because once again, the new products, it's very, very innovation. People don't understand what it is, and then you have to spend a lot of time to educate the market, to let the market understand what you're doing, and before you can harvest. So quite a lot of entrepreneurs probably don't have that patience. Really, after a few years, they just change the direction or give up.
Yeah.
So I would say you really need to be able to stay on there to fight, and eventually market will come out. But of course, you have to confident about your product and services to make sure it has a future.
Yeah.
So once again, for the Unite, this business is a digital art. It's a new way to show in art. Once again, the people don't understand that. It will require a very, very long time. I understand again. I have to educate the market, them to understand what this is about. But eventually, I believe this is going to be the future. So I will stay on there to fight. So for all the art entrepreneurs, yeah, we need to do that.
Absolutely. And again, it comes back to your passion piece. So thank you for that. One of the things I do tend to ask about is because it's one of the most popular topics, is about people and about people who work for you, people who work around you. Have you got any thoughts about, I guess you recruited people and you've got stakeholders. What's your thought about what's important about the people that are around you or the people that work for you in terms of making the business a success? Any thoughts on that area?
Oh, brilliant. This is without doubt probably will be my number one asset is the people. So when I created the OC Technologies, same as other startup, you have no money, you couldn't recruit the top talent. So what I started with the college students, the people who just finished university, finished college, they joined with me. So everybody it's new. So we learn from each other. And then when company continue grow, I always get people from the university. I teach them, I train them, so they always stay with us. So probably you won't believe that in last 17 years, in my business career, I never fired any person. So, yes, unless they want to move on, they move on.
Yeah.
Obviously, they get great training here and they move to better company, better career. And I congratulate them. I love them. So most employee in my another business, OC Technologies, they serve with company. It's almost since graduate, so like 17 years, 15 years. It's a bunch of brilliant people. So most important part is everybody has they are all sparked. I call them sparkling side. So you don't look their problems. You really inspire them doing their best in their own capability. So if you capture that, they are all great contributor for the company. So the company can all growing. So I would say yes, just try to help them, really sincerely help them, and try to cope the problem with them together and inspire them to do their best part in their good side. And yeah, we all get benefit.
No, okay, and I guess that reflects the passion piece you talked about before. If you see them sparkling and they've got that kind of passion, then it's going to compound, and therefore everything's going to work well together. No, that's really fascinating, and I love that angle. So what about the future? What do you think the challenges are for you for the future when you think about growing the business and the future years?
Oh, for the VUNet side, earlier I just mentioned as well, this is a new concept. It's one of the biggest challenge I think in here is we are really changing the people, the behavior, how to appreciate art. It's not easy task. Once again, this is you need to throw a lot of time to educate potential customers, which is for me, I need to spend a lot of time to build an ecosystem, not only us, and from the artists, from the people who installing that, from the galleries, from the art festivals. I need to collaborate with all these partners together. They are not customers, they are past customers. They can help us together to educate the customers that, okay, this is going to be the future. So I would say this one, there's no shortcut. It's need time, really need time to get this message across. I would say this is going to be the first big challenge. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Excellent. And kind of getting towards the end, just is there anybody on the way that's inspired you through all of this? People that you either follow or read or podcasts or those kind of things. Anybody that you find has been inspirational?
Oh, of course. Actually, the one I really admire is the James Dyson,
Right.
the British entrepreneur.
Sure.
It's a I once again I listened to his story, which is how did he develop his first Dyson vacuum machine, and he developed 5,000, more than 5,000 products. That
Right.
was unbelievable, and through a very, very long period of time. And he obviously gave up all his savings, and he stayed in the home, and through many years development, and finally developed products. Even after he developed products, he still didn't have commercial success.
Right.
And it's a very beautiful story. I think if you guys are interested, you can read about that. And
Sure.
he fighted with the American company for the patent. He launched products in Japan. It's not didn't achieve success. That was a lovely story. So the story, what I learned that is for any innovation, you need some time, you need some great effort and dedication
Yep.
to develop piece of products you want to do. It's not come with tomorrow. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think the stories weren't there something like 243 versions of the vacuum cleaner before the final version. In other words, that idea that you have to be allowed to fail to then ultimately succeed. I think and it sounds like you've learned the same kind of messages and those kind of things. So
Yeah.
excellent. Great. So that's really great to speak with you, Paul. I really enjoyed that, and absolutely all the best with the business. I'm sure it's going to be hugely successful and successful internationally. So wonderful. All the best to you for the future.
Oh, thank you very much, Rogers. Thank you.
Excellent. So that covers the end of the piece. So again, it's I don't have these things too long because I think, at the end of the day, people do things in bite-sized chunks, and therefore to have it. But no, that was excellent, and it's I love some of the things that you talked about in there that will kind of pull out the passion piece and so on and so forth. So that's terrific. So how did you end it? You're in Birmingham, right? Okay.
Yes.
So what's the story that you ended up in Birmingham? Is that where you've always been?
No, not really. Actually, I studied my PhD in Nottingham. After that,
Okay.
I did AI actually. Quite interesting. It was 20 years ago. I studied artificial intelligence on the voice recognition, speech recognition, try to let the computer understand what human's language. That's my background. And on that time, 20 years ago, there's no commercial job for AI. So I joined luckily enough, and I don't want, on that moment, I don't, first one, I really do love academic, love research, but on that moment, I was young. I don't really want to stay in the university. I want to go to commercial world, have a look what's happening. But unfortunately, there's no really AI work. So
Right.
what I do is I join the company, it's research-oriented company in Glasgow.
Right.
It's doing the predict text input. Anyway, it's
Oh, yeah, yeah.
technology companies.
Sure.
So I worked on there for 1.5 years. That was late 2006.
Right.
I watched one TV commercial. It's a beautiful commercial. You have to watch. It's in San Francisco. You know, this has step hills. There's
Right.
color for bouncing balls.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
remember that?
Yeah, I do. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the most beautiful advert, I still think. At the end, can you remember which commercial, which company, which brand?
Was it a TV company?
Exactly.
I
It's
think so.
Sony. It's
Yeah,
Sony.
right,
So
right, exactly.
at the end, it's Sony Bravia TV. I
Oh,
was first amazed, really. You remember that our traditional TV was CRT TV, it's very big, thick. That's the first really commercial LCD flat TV on the market.
sure.
So I was loved and was started listening because I was on computer, you know, this industry understand this LCD technology. Finally, I see that become like consumer affordable products. So I was thinking, wow, this really has great usage in the future. What we can do with that?
Sure.
So I was thinking about that. Let's develop some products. Me with my classmate, we were teaching. We were just watching the commercial. Let's thinking what we can do.
Sure.
So we come this idea said, okay, this is like small business. Just remember 2006, 2007. 2007, on that time, there's no social media, there's no Google. For
Sure.
small business, only advertising channel is really you think local newspapers, radio stations, you know,
Right.
these trade fairs, that's about. And then I think if I develop a digital advertising display, put inside shop or shop window,
Sure.
people passing by, they
Yeah.
can see the AdWords. Why not? So that was 2007. I developed these products actually in Aberdeen.
Aberdeen.
Yes, that's
Right.
because my classmate, you know, my friend,
Sure.
him and his wife live in Aberdeen. So I quit my job 2007. I
Wow.
joined them at Aberdeen. And just very unfortunately, after I joined them very quickly, they have to move back to China. They are Chinese as well.
All
So
right.
left myself in Aberdeen for almost 2 years. And then 2009, we found our customer, most of our customer based in England, really, I would say around the London area. So I cannot afford living in London, so I moved to Birmingham, which is central. So now I'm in
Right.
Birmingham.
Okay. I understand. I understand. No, okay. And I'm close. I'm in Shropshire, so I'm just a bit further across to the west. So so one thing I'd love to, so have you, I mean, there, do you have a kind of a showroom, a gallery, I guess? I don't know
Yeah,
what to call it. Okay. So I must arrange to come along and see this for sure.
please.
And there's one other thing that, and it's a bit of an odd connection, but a good friend of mine is actually the head of innovation at the Kohler company. That's Kohler. It's actually a bathrooms company, but it's a global business. I mean, they do $1 billion of sales in China as it happens, so they're truly international. But he's always interested in things like this, and I don't know if there'd be any kind of connection or value to it, but I'm definitely
Please.
going to make him aware. He's called Craig Baker. I'm going to make him aware of what you're doing, because it just might be that, you know, they're very, as a manufacturing business, but they're seriously into art, and they have their own
Yeah.
art center and all those kind of things, and they love all things art and technology and everything else. So there may not be any valuable connection, but just in case there is, I'm going to introduce you to Craig, and I'm sure he kind of come along and have a look and all those kind of things. So
Please, Roger. I love to do that. Thank you.
I'll do that. So, okay, I'll do that. I'll send you, I'll work out when I'm in Birmingham, and if I can come along and then kind of meet you and see the product, I'd love to do that.
You must do that. Yes, thank you.
Excellent. No, I'll take it from there. Wonderful. Well, I really appreciate your time. Thank you very much indeed. Have a good day. Have a great weekend. And I promise I will see you soon. Okay.
I'm sure, Roger. You
All
take good
right.
care. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot, Baoli. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.